final countdown to Election Day, the stakes could not be higher for those fighting the threat of foreign interference in our election. So tonight, ABC's Tom Llamas gives us an inside look at the efforts of one company to track and prevent potential foreign interference and cyber threats online.
We're getting an exclusive look inside Microsoft's election security war room, where analysts are monitoring potential threats from around the globe to our upcoming election.
On this map, every one of these dots is the location of a computer that has been infected by a criminal syndicate so that they can control that computer to conduct their crimes. And these are just those connections in the last 30 days. In the last couple of months, we've seen actors from Russia, from Iran, and from China all increase their activity targeting different people associated with the election and the election process.
The majority of cyber attacks coming from Russia. The FBI accusing Russia of accessing multiple state and local election systems.
We are not going to tolerate foreign interference in our elections or any criminal activity that threatens the sanctity of your vote or undermines public confidence in the outcome of the election.
Cyber criminals or other countries could use ransomware to try to disrupt the election by locking up the computers that state and local officials are using to conduct the election or to count the vote or to report the outcome.
It's that kind of attack that intelligence officials worry could shake voters' confidence in the election process. And it's something former Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence, Sue Gordon, who is consulting with the company, says keeps her up at night.
The idea that adversaries would insert themselves into our electoral process, and whether they actually affect the vote or if their actions made our citizens feel like their vote wasn't going to count, to me that is, without question, the biggest threat to our democracies.
When you talk about hacking election systems, what would they actually interfere with?
More likely, they'd get into voter registration systems, websites, move around networks that would allow them to either disrupt the communications, steal the voter registrations to be able to know who the people are and target them directly.
While she believes foreign interference is here to stay, increased cooperation between governments and tech companies puts the U.S. in a better position to combat it than 4 years ago.
When we see indications of foreign interference or federal election crimes, we're going to aggressively investigate and work with our partners to quickly take appropriate action. We're also coordinating with the private sector, both technology and social media companies, to make sure that their platforms aren't used by foreign adversaries to spread disinformation and propaganda.
Have the potential hacks on the election system, have they increased since 2016?
2016, we were a little bit caught flat-footed. We caught the action relatively late. I think the good news is that even though there are probably more players going against us, and folks like the Russians and the Chinese haven't abated, we are in a much better position to detect it. Every locality is now aware of the threat, and so they're watching their networks, and there's a war room set up in Washington to be able to help all of them when we see events. So it's a much better network of protection than we had in 2016.
Microsoft's Tom Burt says the company is working around the clock to track and prevent potential threats, including working to disrupt a criminal computer network called TrickBot, known for spreading ransomware.
Ransomware is one of the biggest threats to our election. TrickBot is one of the biggest distributors of ransomware. So we believe that by interfering with what TrickBot's trying to do, we can reduce the risk of ransomware affecting our election. That's not to say that there aren't threats, but we are much better prepared.
For ABC News Live, I'm Tom Llamas in New York.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.